My name is Paul Wakem. I'm a former state building inspector in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I'm certified NARSO amusement device inspection. My complaint is that my last year in the employ of the Department of Public Safety, I was not put on the itinerary to inspect these devices. What these gentlemen have just said, it is a revenue generating legislation. If I get back to the things, 2 of the 3 deaths, in my opinion, are partially responsible of the Department of Public Safety. I have submitted a CD disc with over 640 pages of documents. Inspections are missing. My inspection reports are missing. My reports asking why is the Department of Public Safety not following the legislation that it is prescribed, the regulations that it is prescribed. Why has it disciplined its own inspectors for doing inspections the way that is mandated? Why is the review committee for the manuals saying that they cannot do their job because the proper documents aren't provided? Why were there a stack of documents, applications on an individual's desk, not reviewed, not approved, and inspectors were sent out to do inspections on those devices? I myself was one. These are gravity-defying devices, and these gentlemen that just spoke have a livelihood to provide for their family, their employees, and for the citizens of the Commonwealth. They provide funds for the churches, fundraisers. They do many things. The constituents of a lot of neighborhoods don't have the money to go down to the Cape or off to Maine or to New Hampshire. They have to take and bring their children and give them amusement in their local area. These devices are, in fact, in a condition that only requires them to run and be inspected. These devices, by this regulation, the commissioner puts in there, the inspector may inspect the device while it's not running. How do you go in and see the internal work that these certified maintenance mechanics have done their inspections properly without having the device not running? That's like saying an aircraft mechanic can inspect an airplane while it's flying. It's ludicrous. Again, my last year, I was not put on the itinerary to inspect devices. Myself and 2 other individuals were written up. 1 other individual was given a written warning. Excuse me, a verbal warning. These issues were brought forward. When I first came back from being on a medical leave, you had a hearing in the Department of Public Safety, the commissioner, and another individual in the senior administrative staff said I could not speak at the public hearing. This is wrong. You are jeopardizing the lives of children when and if you put this into regulation. These individuals that have the devices are not out there to hurt people. They cannot survive. I myself personally inspected a rock wall where you climb it. Once in Carver at 10 o'clock, another time in Franklin, the same day, I believe 2 o'clock, later in the afternoon. 1 time for the same device. You have inspectors with internal emails, and I have those in that CD, and I will ensure that I get a copy of the CD to every one of the members here. It says, this is a joke. I'm paraphrasing, but basically saying this is a joke, what they're doing. They have a primary job of inspecting buildings and district engineering inspectors doing their discipline. The elevator inspectors are not inspecting the amusement devices. They are allowing their job, their primary job that they have taken a sworn oath of office to do, and letting that lapse. This is a travesty. There are documents, and the district attorney of Worcester, when the Shrewsbury accident happened, stated that he did not believe the Department of Public Safety was forthcoming with their documents. Former Inspector William Robbins wrote a letter to the Department Administration and said that he was not a qualified individual to inspect that device. And yet, senior administrative staff said, it's all right. I know the owner. Let it go if there are mass stickers on it.
How do we get to be number one if all these disasters, both the industry and the commissioner said we're number one in safety?
Statistics lie, lies use statistics, sir. And I'll tell you what, I've sided with the amusement device. This law, this regulation put in, enacted, was a knee-jerk reaction because of the fatality. You had 3 fatalities in how many years? That's far less. And it wasn't the department making it number one. It was the work of the individuals out there on the rise. When you take and you have setups.
But how were they 38 in those stats that were presented here and I think agreed on by both pro and con? 38 in safety to first.
Because you can bend the numbers any way you want, sir. I have over 640 documents with pictures, emails, and all the rest to back it up.
That's a fair point, and maybe something you want to take up as well with state administration and regulatory oversight. But you're also here on Senate Bill 917 and 966, I believe, and we're all over 3 minutes.
Right, yes, sir. Well, once I realized that they were going to be talking about this, this has been an issue of mine that I gave a 6-page letter to the Executive Office of Public Safety. 29 days later, I handed that letter to the governor. 2 weeks later, I got a response from that. I got it from the Executive Office of Public Safety. I wrote another letter, handed it to the governor, and shortly thereafter, I was terminated. So this is something that I've been working on for over 5 years before my termination.
We appreciate your input. We're not having an oversight hearing on the whole.
I understand.
Streets of
I understand.
It's a minor piece of that, but we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good time.
Rep.